Recording started.
539-9797.
Jarrett looking out over that defense. Now he takes the snap, gives to J-Mo running around the left side. Picks up a big block in for the touchdown, Detroit Lions. What a block by Graham Blasco that time to open it up on the left side. There, everybody was looking at that running back, but here comes J-Mo from the right side of the formation, taking the handoff from Goff and going in from the left side.
That's Dan Miller on the Lions radio network, 248-539-9797. Look, Lions 14-2. They got the Vikings on Sunday. They win the game. They're the first overall seed in the NFC. It means a bye, means 2 home games. Their chances to go to the Super Bowl go up precipitous. And if you're just joining us, I talked about these 5 things here that are going to determine, in my mind anyway, my opinion, whether the Lions do it or not. One is obvious. Is their defense so depleted that they can't do it?
Yeah, we're fine.
Or
97.
does it really matter?
We're fine.
All right? Because their offense is so prolific. And can they get more play out of that defense somehow, some way, now that they're stepping up levels of competition? Because this is basically the start of the playoff. Secondly, is Jared Goff a Super Bowl winning type quarterback? Especially under these circumstances, even though he has prolific weapons surrounding him. Lions need Jared Goff to be a tremendous elite quarterback right now. Is he capable of that? Is it even fair to ask that, given he's taken a team to the Super Bowl, the Rams, and he has played at an exceptionally high level this season? He had one game, he had 5 interceptions, he got off to a slow start, but other than that, I mean, he's been utterly terrific. And thirdly, when you look at the Lions, they've got 2 great defensive players. Branch, Joseph, real good one, and Jack Campbell, who's emerged. Can those players step up enough to be true difference makers so that will carry the Lions' defense? And fourthly, we have Dan Campbell. How comfortable are you with Dan Campbell in the postseason with some of his decisions, especially on 4th down? You want him just to bring it back a little bit? Or do you want him to double down? We're going for it. I'm Tim Cup. I'm Dan Gamble. We're going for it. How do you feel? 248-539-9797. That's the number to call in. Also, can they shorten these games? Meaning they possess the ball at a rate where they're controlling it, keeps the opposing offenses off the field, and therefore helps their defense. 248-539-9797. Ticket text is at the exact same number. This is from Ticket Text. Pat, what gives me hope about this Lions team is that the offense is so good that all they need the defense to do is get 2 or maybe 3 stops the entire game. They score at will. That's from Ticket Text. That is part of it. They're look, the Lions have shown this year, last year too, a little bit the year before, that they can win games in different ways. They can win high-scoring games, low-scoring games. They can win outdoors, indoors. It just doesn't matter. They know how to win it. I don't know if they can win a low-scoring game right. I think that they have to have what I would call a controlled boat race in order to do this. I mean, they got to control the clock. I mean, that would help. They have to, with their special teams and their kicker, Bates. I know that was kind of weird, a stretch pose he had in San Francisco. Their field goal kicker to keep making them. And they need their punter, Fox, to be really, really good. All of a sudden, those things really matter. You know, flipping the field, and their special teams. But, I think they're capable. of doing the line. 248-539-9797, ticket text, same number. Mike, you're on 97.1 The Ticket. Thanks for calling, Mike. Happy New Year, all that stuff. What's up?
Hey, Pat, Happy New Year to you, too.
Hey.
I got into a really good spirited debate with one of my friends who's a Philly transplant, hardcore Eagles fan, about Dan Campbell's mentality.
So you ran into Stoney? Whoa.
You know what, they might have, he worked at a shoe store, so I'm sure he may have sold him some shoes in Philadelphia at one point in time. But he was incensed that Dan Campbell was not sitting the starters and said that basically he equated him to Andy Reid when he was with the Eagles, saying that Dan Campbell's mentality is never going to get them a Super Bowl, and Andy Reid had that same mentality and had to completely change and shift before he started winning with Kansas City. And my rebuttal is this mentality has got us from 0-16 to 14-2.
Yeah, I don't see where that is. First of all, Andy Reid, Dan Campbell, they're two very different personalities. It's a very different time now in the NFL compared to what it was when Reid was the coach of the Eagles. His big change was he opened up the offense in a different way, went away a bit from the West Coast offense where he had that, superior background, Andy Reid, and then went to a different offense that suited a particular quarterback. He had the cojones to go out and get a quarterback, even though he had a decent one in Alex Smith, and then to go with him. So I don't agree with your friend on that.
And I don't know what kind of buy-in the Eagles players had with Andy Reid, but I know 100% this Lions team will run through a brick wall for Dan Campbell. They're completely on board with his mentality.
Well, when he was a coach there, McNabb was a polarizing figure because people thought he was obviously very good, but how good was he? They didn't feel, and that was one of the criticisms, he had that little extra competitive spirit or whatever you want to call it to put him over the top. They had a Super Bowl in which he was, up-chucking in the huddle, and they had Terrell Owens, and it got kind of goofy the one time they got in. So they were a team that consistently got to the NFC championship game, lost most of the time, and then the only Super Bowl appearance they had, they didn't get it done. So I don't see this like that Andy Reid, not in my recollection, he was going to go for it, or they were running hook and ladders all the time and throwing passes to linemen and, some of the other stuff. I don't remember that. So
yeah, well, I think in total we live with it, we live by it, and we die by it. But it's the recipe that's got us out of football obscurity into being close to the promised land. So you got to say if he goes for fourth down and he doesn't make it, that's kind of what comes along with it. But it's what's got us to this point. So he made logically good arguments for wanting to rest the players, but my whole thing was look.
Well, they did. They got away with it, right?
Let's see what
there were no injury. Now,
she's in.
Our perception of that would be completely different if Goff went back, planted, and wrenched his knee, something like that.
Right.
So.
Well, it's the same thing as his fake punch from the 30-yard line. If it works out, he's the greatest coach. If it doesn't, where everybody's sitting around talking around saying, see, he's not a good coach.
Yeah.
We live by it, we die by it. Hey, Pat, thanks for taking my phone call.
Well, I appreciate the call. 248-539-9797. Ticket text is the exact same number. This is from Ticket Text, 248-539-9797. Freak out naysayers, calm down. I'm reading the emphasis on calm down because it's in all caps with an exclamation point. Stop living in the past and get on board with the bright future. Please. Again, that's all caps with exclamation point. Dan Campbell will have all three facets of the team prepared to beat the Vikings. He's predicting the Lions will win that game. 38-35. 248-539-9797. I'm Pat Caputo. Happy New Year. Whoa. Whoa. May old whatever be forgotten. Hey, man, that's Old Lang Syne. I know that's